So most boards have a mast track here, which is a slot about 6 inches long, and this is designed for your deck plate. Sail attaches onto that. The idea of it being 6 inches long is it gives you adjustment on the board and how the board will behave depending on where you put the mast track along this track plate. Most tracks are set around about between 135 and 140 centimetres from the back of the board. So you can generally take that as a rule of thumb. 135 will be around about the middle here. And that's the kind of setting you want it to be. So as a whole, generally when you first set a board up, set it around about the middle of the mast track, and that will be a starting point. And from there, you move forward only a centimetre, 2 centimetres either side of that central point. So if you move the deck plate forward from 135 maybe to 137, the characteristics will basically be that it will apply more downforce to the front of the board, which may be in high winds. You want to keep the nose of the board down and stable, and moving the mast track forward will keep it stabler in high winds, but it won't plane quite so quickly. So it gives you a bit more control. Also, generally the larger sail you have, you move that slightly forward, again just to apply that mast foot pressure to the front of the board. By moving the deck plate backwards towards the rear of the slot, basically you'll do that in light winds. So if you're struggling to get planing and the board's just not getting up on the plane, slide that back along the mast foot about 1-2 centimetres. That will allow the nose to rise, more air to get under the nose of the board, and you'll plane earlier. But again, as the wind gets up and the wind gets higher, you'll find that the front of the board will become looser. So that's then maybe the time to bring it back forward and get that nose weight back up again, controlling the board, keeping it flat on the water. Something else I always recommend whenever having a deck plate is mast foot protector. Basically it slides over the top of the deck plate, so when your feet are on here, it protects your toes against stubbing them on the deck plate. Believe me, that can hurt if you slip your foot, stub it on the bottom there, it really does hurt. So always tend to use a deck plate protector. So to summarise, basically, when you first go out in the water, set the mast foot, centre of the track, will measure around about 135 centimetres, and then depending, in high winds you'll move the track forward only 2 centimetres, and in light winds you'll slide it back 2 centimetres, giving you earlier planing and more manoeuvrability. One other handy hint just to point out, what you can do is if you ever want to measure your boom height and get some idea how high your boom needs to be without going actually on the water, 135 is from there to the back of the board. Measure how high you normally have your boom on your sail, and at least generally, if the boom just touches the tail of the board, that's generally the height of the average person as far as their boom goes. So that basically concludes deck plate positioning. I hope that's explained a few things and maybe helped you get your head around where to position it when first going out. Enjoy your sailing.